No, I'm just.
No,
I
I've got
just.
a daughter, she's the apple of the entire family, because she's the youngest and she came after 7 years, she's 7 or 8 years younger to my son. But luckily, we don't have that role.
It's a different culture.
But I think it has more to do with my wife. I think she has made. I could be kind of stereotypical, typical, because I was born and raised in Pakistan, but my wife thinks very differently. So yes, we didn't have, but there could be families. There are families definitely in which you have that. But I want to understand that point a little bit more. So you say, as I understand, are you saying that some certain roles are defined?
Yes.
And they're expected? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And sometimes you have to break away from those, right?
Yes.
Okay. But you said that it works both ways. I'm just trying to understand.
In both ways, in the sense that I've heard young women like me, complaining that their brothers have been prioritized by there has been a bias.
Okay.
By the parents for
the
male child, as in
allocation of resources.
Yes, finance or whatever. And so I was saying that it's not just this way, or people say that after you're married, you belong to where your husband is, and you belong to that house, and I believe your parents' house is a neutral territory. I mean, I used to go and spend some months because I had to focus on my work, and I was working from home and I had more support there. And so girls, even if the parents are old, they're sick, they're alone, but she has to be where her husband is. Although the husband can survive being alone, but
I get it now.
something like that.
Okay.
So it's because she's under that pressure. So recently there was something like that, and I told that lady, I said, your husband can live alone, your mother cannot live alone. I mean, she's at that age, so you need to think, either you come and spend time with her, or you take her with you, or whatever. But women they're not strong, or maybe it's financial dependence.
So
again, this is very much relevant to our culture. It's not. Yes, Pakistani and subcontinent, or you could say that.
No, that's what makes the interesting. This context very interesting.
And even as like old parents, they would. Although I think the women, they get along, or they could be, handled better by their daughters than their daughter-in-laws. But just the culture is that if they have to live with their son and their daughter-in-law rather than daughter. It's very different. We went to. Have you been to Chitral?
Well, I did. No, I didn't.
Achha.
I was to go to Chitral, but
they have this pagan valley, Kailash. You must have heard about them.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and they have their own
customs
and pagan religions, and everything is just the opposite.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah, the women get to choose their husbands.
That's true.
Yeah, which is something I really like.
And also,
and then also that after marriage, the girl, the boy moves with the girl's family. They kind of. It's. They have maybe they have something independent, but it's like annexed to that family rather than what we have it here. But I don't know, a lot of this.
But do you think that that's exactly the same behavior turned upside down?
It is. But I mean, I'm not really endorsing that it should be that way, but there needs to be flexibility both ways, wherever it's needed.
Do you know in Kailash, that when somebody is born, they actually
Celebrate.
No,
they mourn and they celebrate death.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't know that they mourn birth, but I knew that they celebrate death.
Yeah, so birth is actually they mourn. They have, somebody said to me, I didn't go to Chitral, although I was working with the house and I was supposed to, but I think the weather got, due to weather conditions, we couldn't fly to Chitral, so I just missed that thing. Yes. There has to be flexibility, absolutely. Like you said.
And we've taken a lot from, I think, some kind of culture, because even like changing your name after marriage, I didn't change my name.
Yeah.
So it's it's not there in our religion, as in there's you don't have to change, and it's usually it goes with your father's name or your family name. And here I've heard it's because there's this World War II culture when a lot of men died and women took pride in being married or being known as Mrs. So and so.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad told me. So that's from colonialism that has sunk into our culture. The reason I didn't change was that it's also a hassle. It's like changing your identity and changing the passport and ID card, and so that was one issue. And then my father gave a very logical argument. He said, you can change your husband, but you can't change your father. So why keep going through that?
Yeah. Well, I think now the trend is they put a hyphen at the end and write the name of the husband. Some people are doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
know here as well. We have a friend and she changed her name to what she did.
And they just put the husband's name in the
bracket. Her name
bracket.
was Ahmed, and she got married to someone called Houthi. So she's Ahmed hyphen Houthi.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right.
That's brilliant.
So.
Very good. So you think that the name thing has to do with identity as well, how
identity, yes.
That is brilliant.
Because I like in England, I used to have a lot of problem with this because they would call me Mrs. Qureshi, and I'm not Mrs. Qureshi, and I'm not Miss Qureshi either.
Yeah.
So when I finished my PhD, so I said, thank God, now I'm Dr. Qureshi, so that's neutral.
Yeah.
So.
Your 3 family sizes, 3 siblings, you're 3?
Yes, we are 3.
So
I'm the eldest.
And that would be 3 brothers, 2 sisters you mentioned?
2 sisters.
And a brother.
And 1 brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your brother is the youngest, is it?
No, he's in the middle.
Okay.
He's 2 years younger to me.
Okay.
And then my sister is 7 years younger to me.
Brilliant. That's great. I think I should spare you now. Sorry, leave you in peace. And that was wonderful, really.
I do have 15 more minutes, so that if there's anything.
Yeah, I could. But basically, I'm just this thing was. We're just trying to. I have to say, you are a very different exemplary case for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of women, they are mostly into services, not products. So you are into a product. And secondly, your product is not not geography bound. So it's not just for Pakistan. It's across the world. It's a very peculiar. It's a one-off. It's a special. I don't even know whether I'm going to put you with other women in innovation that we are studying, because your case could be a case study on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So we could actually write a paper about you. We'll share that with you if that is the case.
Okay.
Just to get your approval so that everything we say is correct. It's not overstated. Things that you don't want said. We could always amend those.
But I've mentioned a few personal things because I want you to